What's up, y'all? It's the last update. Good times. We finally made it. I'm just kidding, but I'm serious. Back to the project. I ended up sending out links to some of the footage to my professors, and they overall collectively liked the vision of it. They just gave me some few tweaks here and there. They asked some questions that kind of made me think, a little differently about certain things. They asked, particularly, I think it was Dr. Mary Sheffer asked me, what was the point of this? Why does this even make sense? Why is this here? And I looked at it and I thought about it. I was like, why is this here? You know what I mean? I kind of got a perspective from an outside looking in. Well, I'll just say more of a professional standpoint from outside looking in, because I did ask some people that weren't, of course, professionals. So, and they liked it, but my professors kind of gave me a little bit more of critiquing, a little bit more serious critiquing, technical difficulties, as you could say. One of my professors, Jared, kind of, added a few things here and there. Said, I think the intro might be a little too long. I think it this, that, and the other. Jeff also added some things and, make some things a little bit more realistic, because I'm confused on what here, and there. A lot of fantastic advice that I actually kind of noted, and screenshotted and looked over the messages of what they're saying while I was playing the footage. And I was okay, now I can see what you're saying. Because I think sometimes when you're working so much on something, you kind of start missing what you need to be actually saying. You start missing the actual differences between two eyes ultimately. And what I mean by that is somebody else's opinion and mine. And what ultimately I liked about it was the simple fact that, they weren't mean, they weren't trying to be malicious or anything like that. They were just coming straight forward and very blunt. This doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. And I guess typically my professors know me, because that's how I respond best to, I guess you could say, blunt criticism compared to beating around the bush. So I went in, I fixed those certain types of things. Particularly for an example, Dr. Jeff had told me about a conversation that I was having, well, in the film, but it was on the phone. He was like, okay, well, I see what you're doing here, but it just seems like they're having it in person, make some differences here and there, kind of, affect the audio, make it sound like it's actually coming through a telephone, lower it a little bit, give it a little bit of, realistic aspect to it. And like I said, and I'm very thankful that they did give me this information, because I was looking at it that way, but like I was saying, once you continue to look at something, you're so worried about getting it done, you can miss certain things. So I took those helpful tips and added them. Right now where I'm at is I'm satisfied with the different with what they had told me to do. I went and corrected those things. I'm satisfied with that. I guess the one of the cons of having a creative mindset is that when you're creating and once you're editing and stuff, you want to start thinking about what could you do here, and there, instead of just sometimes just sticking to the plan. So ultimately, I'm in a very good spot. And what's really left is to where I didn't know if I wanted to add, or I guess I'll say keep a certain bonus scene in. It's one of those scenes to where you really don't need it in there, but you might want it in there because you went through the trouble of filming it, and you just have to ultimately make the decision to where does it make sense in terms of the story, because if it's in there or not, it doesn't really affect it, if that makes sense. So and that clip would only probably be about 5-10 seconds. So it's like one of those situations to where if it's in there, it's in there, but if it's not, who cares? But everything's been going well. I'll be ready to submit pretty soon. And there's no more real problems. Everything that was raised, all the hands that were raised, I pretty much, directed them and, asked them and talked to them, and, you know, saw what they thought about it. I've been constantly getting feedback on my film, and so it's been a lot of good feedback. You know, cause especially considering how long it's been, and you know the vision I was really trying to go for, and but forgetting all of the sorrows or whatever situation is, I'm really happy about it, and I'm ready to submit it real soon. I've been working on it, so I guess I'll be ready to, you know, submit that, and we'll go from there. See y'all, and I hope y'all are having